welcome back to Bookish Blonde. Thanks for stopping in. Today, we are going to talk about my Priority Reads Challenge for 2024. I have picked 12 books off my shelves that I'm excited about and anxious to read and either keep forever on my shelf because I love them or get them off my shelf. So I am going to do a spinner wheel once a month, and I'm going to read that book that month. I am playing with the idea of doing a reading vlog for these books, so leave your comments down below if that's something you guys want me to do or you'd like to watch. That's just something that's been on my mind. Krista from Books and Jams, she kind of inspired me to do this. She's doing something similar. So I made a spinner wheel, and every month when I do my TBR videos, I will spin with you guys and we'll see the book that I picked this month. But I wanted to go ahead and tell you a little bit about each of these books. So grab a coffee or a tea or a glass of wine, and this one might be a little bit of a longer video because I have a lot to say about these books. I already spun and read for the month of January before I decided to make this video, so I will be starting to do this in February, and I will point out which book that is that I've already read, and I loved it. It was 4.5 stars, so we'll get to that one. Okay, so the first book here that I have is The Perfect Marriage by Jeneva Rose. Now this came out, yes, 2020, and it was so hyped. It was all over Book Talk and Instagram and everywhere. So of course I picked myself up a copy, and have I read it yet? No, I have not. It's about Sarah and Adam. Sarah is a very successful attorney, and she finds out that Adam is having an affair, and Adam's mistress turns up dead, and he goes to jail. So he asks his wife to defend him because he swears up and down that he did not kill her. I can't imagine finding out your husband cheated and then asks you to defend him. So domestic thriller, I think there's multiple POVs if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, so this one, I'm excited to see if it's worth the hype and get my hands on this one and get reading. Okay, book 2. And this is a tour version hardcover of Legends and Lattes. I like this cover a lot better than the other one because the main character in this, her name is Viv, and she's an orc. So this is out of my comfort zone, but I have to know, the curiosity is killing me. Everyone loves this book that has read it. Again, very popular last year, and I have FOMO for sure. I'm in fear of missing out. I am going to read this just to see what the hype's about. And it's a pretty version. So if I hate it, it might be in my Pango shop, and it's a pretty book. So, but yeah, so Viv is a bounty hunter, I believe, and it's fantasy, it's romance. I've heard it's really warm and cozy, and she is done fighting battles and sick of bloodshed, and she decides to start a coffee shop. And in this land, coffee is not a thing. So, and I don't know where the romance stems from, but yeah, so interesting. I don't know, cozy fantasy romance. We'll see. Never read a book with an orc as a main character, but everyone loves it. So again, kind of anxious to see what my thoughts are. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, next one we have here, let's see. And these are in no particular order. I just stacked them up. So, because we're going to have the spinner wheel. So it's going to depend on that, what I read each month. The next one is Remarkably Right Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This is a heartwarming story that was on a lot of lists for 2023 of people's favorites. It sounds great. It sounds like something I will love. This woman, Tova, I believe her name was. This came out last year as well. Yeah, Tova. Her husband died. And so she is kind of going through the grief of the death, obviously, of her husband's death. And she decides to take a nighttime job at an aquarium. And this is where she meets the giant Pacific octopus. And his name is Marcellus. I have heard that Marcellus is like a favorite character for some people of 2023 of everything they read. So they just developed this unique friendship. I've heard it's very warm and comforting, inspiring, heartfelt. I've heard it might make you cry. 30 years before her husband's death, her son went missing. He disappeared. And so I think she starts to try to work with Marcellus to discover what happened to him. So again, a little bit out of my comfort zone in the sense of Octopus is the main character. I'm excited. I heard his voice is unique and funny, and people love him. So that's going to be interesting. We will see. The next book on this list of 12 is The New Husband by D.J. Palmer. Now, this author is really well known for Saving Meghan, which I also own and have not read. But I'm interested in picking this one up because you don't hear about it as much. So this story is a domestic thriller. A lady, what was her name? A lady named Nina finds out that her husband has another woman, a double life. Well, he turns up dead. I think he drowned, I believe. And that's not a spoiler. That's like in the beginning of the book. And she has a teenage son. Years later, she meets another man. They fall in love. He seems almost too perfect. Again, a very fast-paced mystery thriller. It only has like a 3.7, I think, on Goodreads, but I'm intrigued. It's something that's, again, been on my list. I think this is a 2020. You'll find out, or I'm finding out when I was looking at all these books. There's quite a few from 2020. I think that's just because we were all in lockdown, and I must have done some book shopping and a lot of reading, apparently. So yeah, so check this one out. I'm excited to read this and see if it's worth the hype, if it was worth the wait, because I waited a few years to get my hands reading that one. He Will Be My Ruin by K.A. Tucker. Now, this one is one I found out back in 2016 when it came out, when I first discovered BookTube. And I picked it up one day when I saw it. I think it was a buy one, get one 50% off for Barnes & Noble. I'm always a sucker for that. And Maggie goes back to New York City. One of her good friends, I think a childhood friend who has made it in New York City. She's living the life she always dreamed of. The police call her one day and says Celine is dead. She's died by suicide. And this leaves Maggie very confused. She goes back to New York thinking she was so happy. Why would she do that? And so the case is closed, ruled a suicide. And when Maggie goes to kind of collect her stuff and help out, she finds an old picture that kind of unlocks secrets and about a man that no one knew that she was in love with and had this relationship with. So they reopened the case. And was it really suicide? So this sounds like a really good thriller that should keep me on the edge of my seat. I love books like these. This is something I've been wanting to get off my shelves because I've had it now for how many years? Forever. So I'm excited to check this one out. Okay, the next one is The Connellys of County Down, a novel by Tracey Lange. She wrote something the year before this one that was called, what was it called? We Were the Brenanns, and I love that book. I recommended it to a lot of people. It was one of my favorites of the year. It was 5 stars, and it was family drama, and we got family drama here. So Tara's a 30-year-old. She's just getting out of jail, and she's kind of down on her luck. She was put in jail for a drug charge, and so she's coming out of jail trying to start over, so she has to move back home and move in with her siblings. And you're going to get themes of love and loyalty and redemption in this, and I love books with a good character arc of redemption. Those always seem to stick with me after I read them. And you know, she's trying to rebuild her life as she returns home, and you uncover family secrets, sibling drama. Yeah. So, and it's a beautiful cover. I love it. I love all the florals on there. So that one is on that list as well. All right, next one we're going to talk about here is Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. It's another really pretty cover. Book of the month, I'm telling you. I'm a sucker. So last year I read a book called Miracle Creek. I don't know if any of you have read that one. But Miracle Creek, again, was another one I read last year. It was on my favorites. 22. And it was one of my favorites. And this is only her second book, you guys. She's only written 2 books. But when I heard this was coming out, I pre-ordered this one. Then I ordered it on Book of the Month and had to return my pre-order because I forgot I pre-ordered it. So that's fun. Who's done that before? I can't be the only one that's done that. But this is a Korean-American family whose dad goes missing. And so it's like a time rush against the clock, trying to solve where is he, because he's out in the wilderness. And it's the little spin on this one is Eugene, who's a son. He has a rare, I wrote this down so I didn't mess it up, a rare genetic condition called Angelman syndrome, and so he cannot speak. He cannot speak. So as they're looking for this husband / father that went missing, again, race against the clock. It's set in Virginia. Family secrets pop up, and will they find him in time? And what are the family secrets? I believe the son that can't talk knows what happened too. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. So yeah, that's a good one. All right, this next one is, spoiler alert, one of my reads of January. Again, I spun for my priority reads and read this before I decided I was making a video, so please excuse me for that. I am a noob to booktube. So this one is by Benjamin Stevenson, and this was all hyped up last year, and it was worth it. I loved it. Spoiler alert, you have to see my rating in my wrap-up video at the end of this month, but I really enjoyed this. This one, it's described by some people as Knives Out and Clue meet Agatha Christie, and that is the best synopsis I can give you without spoiling anything. There is some dark humor in this. This has such a unique take on the classic mystery with, it's a closed, locked room mystery, they like to call them, but oh my gosh, was it funny. I laughed out loud. It's a family reunion. Everyone in their family has killed somebody. It's original, it's clever, it's the whodunit that I needed to read, that I haven't read one of these in a while, and it was so good. I would recommend this to anyone who just wants to get lost in a book. You think you know, but you don't know, and I really liked it, you guys. All right, next one is, got a historical fiction on here, historical fiction romance, Where the Lost Wander by Amy Harmon. I haven't read Amy Harmon. She comes highly recommended to me by the librarian that I saw the other day. Last week I was at the library and she's like, have you ever read Amy Harmon? I'm like, funny you should ask. No, I haven't. Do I own 3 books by her? Yes, I do, my friends. But this one is an Oregon Trail, 1800s. I've heard it might make you cry. It's a story of love, an adventure. Obviously, they're traveling across, rugged terrain and a time of the world that survival. Like, will they even make it there, right? So, I heard there's themes of belonging, themes of identity in this one. Also, just that resilience when you face adversity. So, I know I'm going to love this. I just have a really good feeling about this one, so I put it on this list so I can finally read an Amy Harmon. Okay. All right, you guys, we have The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I'm very excited about this one. Another really hyped book of last year. I think it even came out in 21, but last year I heard a lot about this on BookTube and TikTok and all that stuff. And this one's unique because it's told in an epistolary fashion format. I hope I'm saying that word right. So a lot of letters and emails, as you can see. So it's got that's unique to it, and that's why I'm excited, because I haven't read anything like that. But you have a dead body at a rehearsal at a theater company, a small town, small community, trying to figure out who's done it. Lots of tension. I've heard it's very gripping, mysterious, another more kind of classic take of a whodunit, Agatha Christie kind of style murder mystery. So that one sounds really interesting. All right, you guys, we only have 2 more. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay. The next one is The Martian by Angie Weir. This was 2011, 2012, I believe this came out. 2015, it was made into a movie that I have not seen either. So I thought this one would be extra fun to read this and then watch the movie. Matt Damon stars in the movie. Mark is the main character, and so he's an astronaut that gets lost and stuck on Mars. I've heard it's funny, it's inspiring. A lot of people love this book. I heard the audiobook was amazing. A couple of my close friends were like, you need to listen to the audio at least when you read this book. If you do a combo, listen, read, because the audio is supposed to be fantastic. But tense, hopeful, inspiring science fiction. I don't know if it's considered light science fiction or not. I'm new to the genre of the science fiction, so I'm excited. I think I have a second book I own by him as well. So I would like to check him out as an author because I have not read Andy Weir yet. Okay, last book, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I had to really think about that to not say Evelyn Hugo because I always want to mess that up. But this one's on my list because I am intimidated by it. I've heard it's really great, but I've also heard it can be very hard to keep everything straight and to follow it. So for that reason is why it's been sitting collecting dust. So I want to get it read this year. But what happens is Evelyn Hardcastle, she's killed. I think it takes place in a hotel, if I'm remembering correctly. And one of the people at the hotel, Aiden Bishop, so every day he wakes up in a different person's body until he's able to solve the mystery of who killed Evelyn and why she died, the motive behind it. So, I mean, like I said, it's very popular. It comes very highly recommended. The ratings are good. I'm sure I'll love it. I'm just a little intimidated by how much I'll understand. So that is all. Thank you guys for being here and listening. I'm excited for these 12 books. Beginning of February, when I do my TBR video, I'll go ahead and spin live with you guys and film a reading vlog to put out. So that's kind of my plan. Thanks for being here, and I'm really excited to share all my thoughts and experiences with this Priority Reads Challenge of 2024. All right. Thanks again for stopping in, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.